record. I mean, I love music. I love the feel of records. You know, the smell, if that's, and just they're just tangible. You know, you can put it on and you hear it, and off it goes. You know, I mean, I do listen to stuff on YouTube, and I do listen to stuff on all these podcast things, but unless it's coming through a real speaker system, it's just like it don't sound the same. I don't know how these tinny. I can't say it. But I remember
the warmth isn't there.
I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
You remember they still them GLC all day of things, and they used to have the community centre would have like, well, Soul to Soul. I didn't know they were Soul to Soul at the time. They weren't Keep On Moving, so they were just a sound system. They round the flats, and they played music all day, and something must have underlyingly really hit with me. And I was, how are they doing that? What's that? And
so when was this? How old?
This would have been about, I'm sure someone from Soul to Soul will correct me, but this must have been about 83, 84.
As early as that. Boy.
Yeah, I mean, they had as they say how old it is, they had a big bouncy castle around the flat, and it was massive. Well, I say massive, it must have been about 5 foot off the floor, and it was just a big platform. There was no edges, so if you fell off, you fell off. And all the big kids, were bouncing like nutters on it. And Soul to Soul were there and playing music. God knows what they were playing. I couldn't tell you one tune,
but it resonated. Must have made
it must have sparked something in me, and I loved it. And here I'll tell you another story. One New Year's Eve, we were in Farringdon, surprise, surprise, and I won't name names, but who was with me, and all I could hear was from a warehouse party. It was on Bobby Bird's. I Know You Got Soul. It was about 89. It was New Year's Eve, and some other writer. Can I mention? No, we
can edit out.
He come round the front of the train. He didn't come in with us. Come in like that, like God, like oh. We're like, who the fuck is that? And they go, oh, it's so and so.
Yeah.
So that was a mad experience. So
what happens is you connect
booming system.
Yeah, and you connect the music with the moment, and that moment just stays with you forever, doesn't it?
I remember being at primary school, and a female teacher at the time said the way males remember instances in their life will be what was going on football-wise or what was going on music-wise, and everything, good and bad memories, I can remember through a tune.
That's amazing.
Like I think of Summer of '89, Keep On Moving, and I think, fucking, that was such a good song. I can remember the weather, who I was hanging with, where we were painting.
Yeah, man.
Just mad shit. But ask me socially, really, it was like, I don't know.
It's actually funny, isn't it? That what would and contrary to what you just said there, like your accounts on things in this conversation thus far is just like, yo, you must have had a lot of tunes stored up for your memory, because these are moments in time which a lot of people wouldn't remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have, but because I was really into the music, like when I discovered something, I wanted to know about it. So people would play me breaks, but I remember I was late to it, but the rare grooving and tunes kicking off and going, oh, this tune's so bad, and the hip hop tunes at the time, not necessarily having the money to own them or buy them, but I remember the JB's The Grunt, and I was on the dole at the time, and it was a $5 at Quaff Records, when Quaff Records was on Stroud Green Road in Finchley Park, and this was after Public Enemy had used it. So this would have been at 87.
Wow.
And that was $5 for a 7. That was a lot of the time. You look at the price on Discogs now, you're like, how much?
Yeah.
And with the guy upstairs, DJ Def, we would go to record fairs when I was working then, and buying copies of the Jackson Sisters' I Believe in Miracles for £3, and just being aware and having good influences music-wise with friends, and constantly listening to Kiss FM when Kiss FM was good, or when it was pirate, and just wanting to learn, listen to Mike Allen, listen to Dave Pearce on a Monday night, listening to Westwood a bit. In fact, listening to those radio shows.
They were like your beacons of information, weren't they?
Yeah, but probably saved London Transport thousands.
Because
I'm not going out till Westwood. I'm not going out till I listen to Fish Mike Allen. Yeah. Really? Whereas other writers were out there. They were out there, and so they've saved London Transport 1,000. Probably could have saved me a prison sentence. Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
Who can guess?
You're at home and not in the wrong place.
Yeah,
at the
like
wrong time,
take
so.
you know, pause. You know, the
Yeah,
pause
yeah.
cassette nonsense.
Legendary shit. Legendary.
Yeah, you know, now you just go on YouTube. Yeah, I want to listen. I'm bored halfway through. I want to switch. Then you had to wait whether you liked it or not.
Yeah.
You know, a night when we got. It was a night we got raided. Was it 89 in Farringdon, and Car 138 had just been to some yard the other night, and he was like, "No, I'm not going in." He kept watch on the wall. He got nicked.
He got nicked.
We got raided. He had nothing on him. He got off with the case, thankfully. And there would have been me, Noise, Shoe, Imp, Seas, and we got chased. Imp got caught and grassed everyone up. This is when Farringdon, I think Shoe ended up down somewhere in what's that fucking bridge? Blackfriars. Noise ended up in a skip covered in coffee and shit. And there's a piece he done afterwards, which he gives a shout out to the police dog, because the dog's sniffing around.
Because it's coffee and he can't smell nothing.
Yeah. But he's sniffing around this skip, and he was underneath all this shit. And the police couldn't see him because the torch was, and the dog kind of knew he was there. But he gave a shout out to the dog in one of his later pieces. And I went straight up the scaffold, over the wall, walked up the road, got a 279 bus home, got home, and they were playing the recording of Public Enemy when they played in '87. I got home, bossed it, was on straight tape it, there you go. And meanwhile, everyone's, you know, like the Warriors trying to get home.
Dude, this is just crazy. Like, I mean, like, yeah, that story alone, it's like, you're, and if you haven't clocked by now, ladies and gentlemen, Excel is always on. This is it, when he's asleep, he's asleep. When he's awake, he's like, as you say.
You know, he's like, bling.
Yeah. So,
plug me in.
It seems to me that your personality is driven by something else. Your energy is driven by something else, and you at that time you were just like living b-boyism, and you were just doing shit.
So.
It's kind of weird that you would just go from your attention to be I'm on the track, so I'm having to run. I get off the track to get home. Oh look, there's something on play. Press play.
It was pure.
Like,
I mean, it was a great coincidence. I was like, because you know, I thought I'm home. You know, let's put the radio on. Oh, wicked, bosh.
Yeah.
You know,
that's amazing. It's like that's the ideal.
When the planets aligned.
The b-boy in me's like, my b-boy in me's like, I want that. That's me. That sounds good. I'll have a bit of that.